I absolutely despise Last Epoch. As a fan of ARPG, this game is not what we should expect for 2023 gaming. Having been a gamer for Diablo Immortal and Diablo 4,
Oh my god, there's no gear! Oh, I love PvP!
which are the absolute gold standard for ARPG gaming for many years, never would I imagine touching any other game like PoE or the coming PoE 2. And now, this garbage of a game is trying to take the spotlight from my favorite Diablo 4. So for today, I'll be explaining to you why I hate Last Epoch, and you should too. First up is obviously the development team. It is not even a question if you want to get quality games, you should have hundreds upon hundreds of developers working for you. Just look at Diablo 4. God, this game is just majestic. Just look at that.
We know that reducing player power is never a good experience in general.
The developers of Diablo 4 are clearly passionate in expressing what they love about the game. Surely it's not reading scripts or cues that they prepared prior. Blizzard Entertainment can do no wrong. While the continued development of the cash shop, the game, is a testament to that. While on the other hand, Last Epoch started as a passion project. Really? You mean to say that you go on Reddit and ask people who want to share a project with you? Everyone knows you only go to Reddit to read comments and facts from well-educated, credible intellectuals who are specialists to the subject matter. Not just to post something like wanting people to work with a project that you all collectively are passionate about. Where's the money in that? What's even more disgusting is publishing your game in a Kickstarter to fund your passion project. That is clearly a shot to challenge the perfection which is Diablo 4. What sort of tactical ARPG started in Kickstarter anyway? It's not that it can amass millions of fans worldwide, being one of the most popular games of the decade, while shaking the gaming landscape to its very core. Racking in so many awards, it's ridiculous, while also winning Game of the Year. I can't even imagine any game remotely close to that. Second is one of the most absurd thing that I've heard ever. Unlimited stash tabs. Just the word alone sends shivers to my spine. How ludicrous is that? You mean to tell me that the game has unlimited stash tabs that is also available to you by purchasing with in-game currency? You mean to say that it's not locked in a $70 paywall?
We need more stash help now, right?
Yeah.
And so
right now.
In 1.1.1, we're going to be adding an additional stash tab for players so they can store more aspects.
Man, these guys don't know what they're talking about. Imagine finding a gear that you really like and you want to put it in your stash tabs without any problem. Don't they know that ARPGs are intended for you to rain down the loot? You mean to tell me that I can loot any gear that I want without the worry that I can overstuff my stash with random garbage? The team at Last Epoch had the audacity to add swappable storage and stash windows and is also accessible anywhere. Man, when I heard this stuff, my rage was building really quickly. Don't they know that the standard is you should have limited stash space? Ideally 5 or just make it even, put it up to 6. The developers of Diablo 4 themselves mentioned that it is impossible to increase the stash tabs, so it must be true.
When we say they are expensive, what we mean is they create a lot of memory overhead. When you see another player in game, you load them and their entire stash filled with all of their items. This is what teams have been working so diligently to improve so that we can have more as soon as possible.
It must be mandatory to waste time individually to inspect every gear from this sea of loot just to find that perfect 20% crit damage increase. The guys in Last Epoch don't even understand that in order for it to be fun, it needs to be tedious. Looking at your storage tabs for at least 10 minutes is the bare minimum for a functional ARPG. Third is what they called introducing a unique aspect, which is the build customization, which everybody in the ARPG world knows about. Last Epoch had the gall to add extensive class customization from its 5 base classes, the Primalist, Mage, Sentinel, Acolyte, and Rogue, which branches out to 3 subclasses each. Who does that? Who needs that much customization? To put it in perspective, we have on the left the immaculate and perfect Diablo 4, while on the right the trash Last Epoch. Both have their own skill tree to basically upgrade your skills like any other RPG, right? This is where it goes wild. While both have the version of the Whirlwind, Last Epoch clearly didn't do its homework and called it Warpath. In Diablo 4, it's just perfect and sleek. I mean, just look at Diablo 4's Whirlwind. It is just perfect. Whirlwind can upgrade and have more damage or bleed. That's it. Simple and direct. You don't need to get confused, just pick one or the other. I should call this skill branch instead of a skill tree because it's just more confusing that way, saying that it's a tree while it is totally not, which is quite lame to be honest. Anyway, while in the other side, Last Epoch's Whirlwind, Warpath, has many branches. Why? You can get confused easily with this. What's this? 45% more damage, plus 10% armor shred, and increasing your move speed while you spin? What do you mean by it's just for a single spell? You can customize every other spells with this? Man, it's just too much customization. Give me damage or bleed anytime. Another horrible aspect of Last Epoch is they introduced loot filter options. What the heck is that? It's not in Diablo 4, so for sure it's not great. They basically made a filter option for items in your display that you don't want to see. No one likes these options clearly. Everyone knows that looking at piles and piles of garbage loot is what it's all about. So I'll just explain it further in order for you to avoid this awful mode. It filters out drop items based on the rules you assign. It also allows recoloring and emphasizing the items. Bruh, the team at Last Epoch don't understand that everyone loves tediousness like Diablo 4 and it is part of the gameplay loop. Obviously, to add insult to injury, Last Epoch also added auto loot, so just let that sink in for a while and know how awful that will be. Finally, the feature that will definitely kill the game, it's the endgame of Last Epoch. They had the awful idea to introduce targeted endgame content. It gives you full control on what type of goal and content you want to accomplish in a run. You can target specific loot or objectives depending on what your priorities are. Seriously, why did they remove the best part of the game? Who doesn't love mindlessly grinding for gear that you will never have the chance to get, especially for that 0.0001% of Shaco? It still looks really sweet, so I'll keep grinding. Targeted loot? More like easy mode for casual scrubs, am I right? There you have it. Those are the reasons why Last Epoch is dead on arrival. I for one will be playing the game and covering its downfall, so if you're excited, despise the game, I'll be keeping you updated for the latest happenings. Thank you everyone for watching till the end of my sarcasm. I'll be covering Last Epoch together with my regular Baldur's Gate 3 content, so stay tuned for that. If you guys are new to the channel, this is Toby from the Master Box Show and thank you for watching. Finally, that's it for me. I hope to see you soon on the next Master Box Show. Peace out. Bye guys.